Chicago is the consciousness of music, period. We're the home of the blues. We're the consciousness of hip hop. Chicago is a blue collar city, bro. Buddy Guy, Curtis Mayfield, Kanye West, Common, Lupe Fiasco, Rhymefest. Chicago is the soul of the country. The joy of success, the beauty of struggle, and the wisdom and failure. That's Chicago.
Birds are chirping.
Birds are chirping.
Integrity is as expensive as it is rewarding.
New day now. It's a new day now.
Some call him Patrick Kane now. I'm a poet, organizer, educator, MC, activist, multi-hyphen in the city of Chicago. We're in the media space, which is a digital literacy space, and it's in the library downtown in Harold, Washington. And Chance the Rapper, folks like Vic Mensa, Donnie Trumpet, No Name, Saba, Pivot. A lot of people in the Chicago hip hop scene grew up in this space. Mentors, folks like Brother Mike, taught workshops here in this space, writing workshops, taught me about Marcus Garvey, who taught me about Malcolm X. And he did that via spoken word.
A bouquet of 24 hours grows in my hand for you. If I weren't mere mortal and was Goro from Mortal Kombat, I'd give birth to 1 million kids just to give a hand to you.
I think, social justice is an easy connection with art, I think, because you're learning about what it means to be a human being. My best self is when I'm writing. My best self is when I'm creating. I'm both a poet and an organizer, and I can't be a good organizer if I'm not a poet. So we're at Roosevelt in Michigan. We were organizing a protest for Laquan McDonald. It was the night that they released part of the video where, a clip was emptied into him 16 times. And it's weird being here actually explaining it. It was both one of the most scariest moments of my life and also one of the most important. We were coming down, we're leaving the police station, and we finally get to this intersection. I'm there, I'm talking about we have a righteous anger in this moment, black people in this country.
Like it's Periscope, everything I sacrifice, I set aside, I'm setting goals. I am on my own, I am going for gold, yeah. I am Michael Phelps, goggles on my nose, yeah.
The next thing I know, a smoke bomb is let off. We start telling people, some of the organizers are like, yo, go, we don't know what it is. The next thing I know, the police commander, he walks up and he's like, are you fucking responsible for the smoke bomb? And I laugh, right? I'm like, dude. Because all night, he's the person I'm coordinating with, we're going this way, talking to this man. And the next thing I know, 8 officers, grabbed me and started arresting me. I feel some rope or what feels like a zip tie, just going around my neck, and everything goes dark. And when I come to, I feel myself screaming, no! I feel that, and I wake up, and the zip tie is still around my neck, but I wake up, and as I'm coming to, I'm literally on the face on the ground, and they're dragging me into the car. But the whole time I was just this is what happens. I wasn't necessarily afraid of dying. I just knew this is what happens when you fight for what you believe in this country.
I had no idea that I would live in a moment where you see so many young black folks and initiating uprisings and massive resistance and rebellion, and also building infrastructure and capacity on the ground for long-term movement building.
You see the political struggle here, you see the struggle of just people within the communities, and you have the soul of the music that's there, and you just end up saying, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is who I am.
You see people of all stripes, all ages, from all types of communities, seeing folks putting their bodies on the line.
And I can tell when I look at these new generation artists, nobody had to tell them or try to teach them to do it. They just stand up and speak up when they see it's necessary.
See, she's telepathic, call it black girl. When Rakia Boyd was killed by an off-duty police officer here, I was just feeling all of this pain and kind of anger.
Look at what they did to my sister. Last century, last week.
There were a bunch of protests led by BYP 100, seeing how they were intentionally centering black women and working tirelessly to make black women visible. That was really inspiring to me, and so I just kind of took that and started off on my own story of like this black girl soldier character.
So Jenna was a freedom fighter and she taught us how to fight.
For me, that was kind of a way that I was able to access feelings and release them in a way that I wasn't letting myself or couldn't before. I've been waiting for so long. Call me by my name. They keep telling me I'm wrong. Young people are not really taught in schools, you know, that their feelings are valid. Like if they're angry, that's a legitimate feeling. When I'm teaching, that is definitely something that I think about. I think of it as illuminating tools that people already have. I wanna go to my own private planet I've been dreaming of. But the pressure or like expectation to write about black pain, like as a black artist, is also like an unfair pressure. So color me gold. There's also room to just talk about the joys or the idiosyncrasies of like being who I am. So bad, so don't look so sad. Just 'cause I'm born here, it don't mean I'm from here. Even though that might not be considered political, I think it's equally valuable so that people can see black joy represented as much as black pain or the violence against black people. I'm way So beautiful, thank you guys.
All movements have arcs, right? Movement doesn't just go like an escalator. It goes up and down. It has waves. It has texture to it, right? And so the contours of like what we're trying to build, I believe, is to have more continuity and connection with when it comes to leadership.
Well, this is a wave, man. Like, this whole thing is like, remember when rap music was conscious? Like, yeah, we're back. You know what I mean? Like, it's back there. You know what I mean? It's a repeat in time. The problem is when the wave is done, when the wave crescendos, what will we have to show for it? What will we have built?
We have to make sure that we build, that there's a continuity in leadership and that we're not just building by generation, but we're also building intergenerationally in the work that we do.
Replace yourself, replace yourself, replace yourself. Because the lack of, especially black successful people replacing themselves, is why we don't have generational wealth. Is why we keep fighting the same struggle every 20 years. Like, because we never replace ourselves with people that pivot from where we left off. I'm gonna tell y'all an ill story. Before I got my first record deal, I actually was homeless with my son. Me and my son's mother had broken up. I had $600 in my pocket. And I had to make a decision when I had this apartment with my shorty, and I know next month rent gonna be due. Am I gonna go hard with music, I felt at that point like I already lost my kind of family over this. Why would I stop? Now I'm gonna go extra hard. I start entering talent shows, like these little high school, college rap battle talent shows. I had to win that $100 every week to pay this rent and get some groceries. I had to win that talent show. So that became my job, like working on that. And then I met this guy named Mark Ronson. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna sign you to a production deal. My life was changed. Now, had I been like, I need to get a job because I gotta figure out this and this. Like, sometimes in life, you gotta make bold moves. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be diplomatic about your passion.
Figuratively speaking, making figures like as we speaking it. Happiness you seek and hope this barrier you breaching. Seems I poked and now I'm picking. Got me working on weekends to make up on my
Donda's house is working from within a system. And through it, I believe revolutionizing the way young people think about themselves.
was meant to be, was meant for you, ain't meant for me. Yeah.
All I see is open doors. Couldn't blame you if you don't want.
All I know is that I'm a builder. And whatever it is we need to do to build a better system, I want to be in on that part. And so what we do at Donda's house through art is we take common problems and have the students think of unique perspectives of solutions through music.
Listen up, both your means to get the finer things. New whips or diamond rings, man, it's time for change.
It's funny how our dreams brings us back to reality, lowering my expectations to become someone else's option. Without goals, we are lost souls with no morals. I will not be lost. I will be whole with myself.
Is God in our mix?
Is God in our mix or just a remix when we fall? When we fall incomplete with ourselves but complete with the world.
All right, pause, stop, everything, stop. All right, is that what's gonna happen tomorrow?
No,
What's gonna happen tomorrow at the show?
I ain't gonna forget it.
Oh, okay. Because you know it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, you sound good. You sound much better than you did at the beginning of the class. You actually look different. Like, your whole spirit looked different. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, if you learn it, I'm confident. At first, I wasn't confident you would be able to pull it off from an emotional standpoint. I can see that you can pull it off from an emotional standpoint now. All you gotta do is learn it. Other than that, y'all sound hot. Yeah, y'all sound super fresh. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of y'all. Y'all doing it.
Paul Robeson says that we are the gatekeepers of the truth. And I think when people look back on this time of 2016, 2015, 2014, and say, man, this was a critical time in history, it's going to be those musicians that they will get some of the story from, the truth.
I was a political prisoner for like 16 hours. They dropped all the charges. They claimed that I punched a police officer, which I did not. I remember like having like nightmares, sleep paralysis, waking up and feeling like police were like coming in my crib. I had to really take a step back and think about, like, what is it that I want my life to do?
Hey, we gon' be alright. Hey, we gon' be alright. Hey, we gon' be alright.
It just kind of really catapulted me into wanting to really be an artist. Art is what got me here, you know? James Baldwin is what got me here. Brother Mike is what got me here. Tupac is what got me here. And so I have to like cultivate the artist in me and the reason why like I feel like I exist.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
After I got out, I felt an immense amount of love in that moment. It reinforced like how much harder we have to fight and how much harder we have to reimagine the way the world looks.
Yeah!